Girls, in the morning session, we got a glance about the importance of nutraceuticals, and I think it was repeated over further sessions as well. So there are many startups in these areas which can be considered as opportunities for the young entrepreneurs. Also, while doing so, risk management has become a major issue for the private and public organizations, for which the organizations are assessed for compliance with economic, social, and environmental norms and measures. Okay, so next two sessions will definitely throw light on these two very important aspects for the young minds. So I request Miss Roshni Dange, Assistant Professor, Nutrition Department, to please introduce our speakers for these two sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajashri. I'm audible? Okay.
Yes, Roshni.
Good afternoon to everyone. Today I feel elated to introduce Mr. Gaurav Malik and Mr. B.T. Yogesh. First, I will introduce Mr. Gaurav. He is a marketer, innovator, and brand nurturer. He has 13 years of marketing experience in FMCG, foods, healthcare, and pharma industry with a rich blend of experience in brand marketing, handling categories like nutrition, Ayurveda, skin nutrition, herbal under OTC and channels. He is a strategist and an individual excited with the concept of new ideas, executions, plans to develop self-learning. He worked with Dabur India Limited and with international companies too. He had received a Silver Line 2015 award for press category, which is the highest level of award in marketing creativity awarded to brand for outdoor media. He holds ECEF Gold Award 2017 for your health assistant in consumer engagement and CIMS brand launch of the year 2018. Well, about the education, he has done his bachelor in pharmacy and MBA in marketing. We welcome you, sir. His topic for today is nutripreneurship, focus on nutrition and nutraceuticals.
Thanks, Roshni, and that's really overwhelming welcome and really appreciate. So a very good afternoon to all the panelists and all the attendees here. And it's been really nice listening to Mr. Nilesh and Dr. Samrata. And there will be great learnings, which I have also picked up. I've noted a few points from the presentation, and I'm sure this will also help everyone, all those students out there. This will be really helpful for them. So now my today's topic is nutripreneurship, and allow me a second to share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to all. Yeah, yes, so my topic is entrepreneurship, and I think the previous speakers have talked about entrepreneurship, and they have given a deep dive into how the entrepreneur has been built up and how you can build up your business and how you have to sustain it. And this is a very frequently asked question. I think everyone asks this question: what actually a basic essence is required for being an entrepreneur? And I think there's no answer to it. Everyone has their own positives and negatives. They have an impact of internal and external environment. So everyone has a different definition. What will be the basic essence for entrepreneurship? But I think one thing which should be there is a very clear visibility to your vision. If you have very clear visibility to your vision and you know that path to that vision, how to lead that path, I think that is what I think is one of the basic steps which you require to have those inbuilt when you start your journey for being an entrepreneur. And when I talk about basics, I'm a big fan of basics. I always stick to basics. And I do remember someone mentioning about Philip Kotler. He's a marketing guru, definitely. And if you ever get a chance to read about him, Philip Kotler always talk about basics. Any problem under the marketing umbrella, if lies, the solution will lie in the basic concepts. There's no need of building a castle around a problem. It's just go down to the fundamental concepts and you will find a solution to those problems. So let me begin with this entrepreneurship topic, and I have split this presentation into two parts. Basically, I'll just take you through how this deck will roll down, and once you will go through this along with me in this presentation, you will feel what sort of a basic content we are talking about. But I'm sure when you listen to what is basic concept and start applying it into your approach, whatever approach you take to be in a business. But yes, this is an approach which you can apply on a daily basis. And if you understand these basic concepts well, I think that solves most of your problems. So this presentation has been divided into two parts. One, I'll talk about a very basic nutritional, what is nutrition, how it's been placed in the market right now, what we understand by nutrition. And the second part is the impact of the recent pandemic on the nutraceutical industry overall, and how this industry is now shaping up, and there is going to be some sort of an impact, and what level of impact it will have down the line, say 5 years from now, and how this will look like after 5 years. So that's really important for us to understand as a businessman, how this is going to move ahead and how we should be ready to achieve or to harness that opportunity once it comes to us. So let me start with a very, very common quote, which I think no one out here would have never listened to it. So this is, we have been hearing from, I think, since our childhood, an apple a day keeps doctor away. But have you ever thought about, this is a very basic quote which you have ever heard about. What's the actual insight or a messaging behind this? Apple a day keeps doctor away. There's a very simple messaging that you keep yourself healthy by eating a very healthy and nutritious food. That is a very simple message. But I think most people interpret it as that, yeah, by eating an apple every day, I need not to go to a doctor or for any sort of a disease or a disorder. But basically, it's communicating to you that, yes, nutritious food is important in your day-to-day life. If you have, everyone else knows that a Greek physician, Hippocrates, once said, let food be your medicine. Let food be your medicine. How can food be a medicine? People might have questioned him at that time. But yes, he was right. If you start behaving as an individual who take everything and know about what they are eating and are very clear about those nutrition benefits they are going to get of that food, you may not require a medicine at all. A healthy lifestyle and healthy eating habits will lead to you and a healthy living. And that is what is meant here, is you have to keep your food as per you read about your medicines. So once you get a prescription from a doctor, you buy a medicine, you go to back of a pack and you understand what sort of a salts it contains, what sort of chemicals are there, what is basically adverse events related to this medicine. Are you ever searched about your food? This is a food for thought, your take home message. Go and think about the food you eat on day-to-day basis. Have you ever searched about that food, how much nutrition value it is giving you, what sort of nutrition it contains, what are the actives inside it, and what finally it's going to deliver to you. So just think about it, you will definitely get the answer to it. So what's happening here is in India, we all are moving ahead with a lot of lifestyle changes. Not in India, I think it's a phenomenon across the globe, but yeah, specifically we'll focus today on our country, India. And in India, there is a huge burden of a non-communicable disease, which is increasing every day. And there's no particular reason to it to be increased. It's just because that there are some lifestyle habits which we are not adapting to our day-to-day life are leading to this non-communicable disease rise. You will, I'm sure you must be hearing of a lot of news of a premature deaths which are happening in the early 30s and the late 20s. And this has become a very regular phenomenon which you hear about someone dying because of a disease in a very early stage of his life. And this is really very disturbing. But we have never been very cautious about learning from those mishappenings and applying them to our daily lifestyle. This unhealthy diet, lack of physical activity, all this are leading to a non-communicable disease. But the reason is very, very clear to us, but still we are not even trying to answer those issues. With daily lifestyle changes, which is bringing in a lot of stress, and with the stress, we start adding a lot of alcohol and tobacco to our lifestyle. And definitely we are on the go. We are too busy in our lifestyle that we skip our daily physical activity. And this inactivity builds up with time and really causes a lot of physical issues. And to couple with this, we also take a meal which is on the go. We grab something from the QSR, we'll pick something and we'll eat it on the go. Will not sit up down for a proper lunch or a dinner. We'll spend ample amount of time in consuming our food. If we give a sufficient time in consuming that food, whether it's how much it is nutritious, that's the second question. But the first question, are we actually giving that amount of time to eating that food? And when we are eating that food, are we into a right mental state? Eating food with the thoughts behind of some meeting or some reaching some targets will never help or never give you a nutritious diet. So this is also a secondary factor which we look. So when I'm talking about this again will be a very basic to you, but have you ever thought the insight behind it? Can you provide a product or can you create a product where these sort of an issue will be, means you can answer to this sort of an issues? Is there a product which can be created which is healthy but still consume less time in eating? Is there a product which means definitely not contrary of physical activity, but yes, helps you or motivates you to do a physical activity? And I think the innovations which is happening in the industry are leading to that. Today, the technology is making you understand how much physical activity you have to do, how much to eat, when to eat, and at what quantity, and from where to eat. So all these are actually an opportunity. And when you match this opportunity with your product, that's actually a right insight. That's a great insight to launch a product into that particular segment. So when we look at the solution to this, we talk about the problems. We talk about that and non-communicable disease are there. Then we know the problem, why they are there. And what is the solution to it? Solution is to eat of optimum nutrition. But for optimum nutrition, we should know how our plate should look like. For our plate, we have an excess of sugar, salt, carbohydrates. We have a lot of preservatives, fats, chemicals, pesticides. All this we take in excess. But what exactly is required is a protein. Is required a micronutrients, we require fiber, we require amino acids, and ample amount of water to be consumed. So these, if we balance them together, we reduce the excess amount of those elements which we take knowingly, unknowingly in our daily diet, and add those deficiencies which are there. If you see a typical Indian plate, you always find protein in the most least quantity. Go back today when you're sitting on a dinner table, just check your plate. The protein will be the least which you will be taking, whereas it's the most important thing to be taken. So this is happening, and this is happening knowingly, unknowingly with every one of us. So this is again a very important area, how to provide a consumer or customer with a proper plate which have all the basic nutrients into it. Can you offer them a food range which have all the nutrients, minusing whatever there is on the left side that is under the section X's. So the result is to have a healthy, to benefit from the healthy eating, we get a lot of other things also. So if you say by eating healthy, you keep focusing more. So your focusing energies gets more channelized. Your appetite increase. You also have a behavioral changes. So it's a very famous saying that what you eat is how you behave. And this is what is, if you eat a very proper and nutritious food, your behavior will be really good. And so this is really translate into your outer world also. And when you eat and you control your plate and you know what plate size you are eating, your blood sugar level also are maintained and you maintain a healthy weight. So all this is in a viscous cycle. So you miss any of these, you will be going to have you're going to have a lifestyle issues. So benefits of healthy eating is always there, and this benefits should not be taken into on one context. It's basically a cycle where there should be a lot interrelated connections to it. So we talked about all those things, what actually we should eat. We talked about protein, we should be there in our plate, but there are also essential nutrients along with the protein, which should be there. There should be carbohydrate, fats, vitamins, minerals, water, and phytonutrients. I will not go into detail of each of these. I'll just, because you are all now, I think, above this level where you should know about the protein, carbohydrate, and fats, what exactly those are. But yes, these are an important part of plate size, and they should be there on a plate and in a quantity which they are required. So my healthy plate should have a lot of fruit and vegetables. Something again, which is missing from us is a green vegetable from our plate. Even if we are consuming it, the method of cooking it really takes away the basic nutrients from it. And then The meats and other things also makes a big part of our plate, but that is again sometimes missing from our plates. Along with this, something which we really miss and which is really freely and available in abundance is water. Having a good amount of water is really important. And for you can go and calculate as per your body weight and how much water you should consume on day-to-day basis and how much physical activity you do. On that basis also you can calculate the amount of water. Now here comes the consumer insight. Someone would have thought that water will be a commodity one day and will be sold in a packed manner. No, but it became a big market today. What next in the water? That's again a question for you to think. Water is a commodity, yes, but how is going to translate in future? In next 10 years, will there be an innovation in water? Yes, that's happening, but yes, keep tuned for me to come to that. So now we move into the next part of our presentation. We talked about nutrition. Yes, nutrition is very important. Now talking about how this applies into our daily lifestyles and how this is going to change our business habits, or how this is going to have, how it's going to change, or it's going to brought because of this pandemic, changes which is going, how it is going to apply together and give us a new outcome, how this will be changing an entire scenario in next 5 years. So healthy plate definitely leads to healthy habits, but yes, this pandemic has changed everything and healthy habits is one of those things. If you see a very recent data, this data says about then US, 73% of the US consumer who experienced health disorder in the past year, that is 2020, went to get to a doctor to diagnose themselves. Earlier, what used to happen, if you have a minor cough and cold, you used to treat that at home and thinking it's a seasonal disorder, you treat it and you get taken OTC products and you used to treat it. Now the consumer is very cautious. A single sneeze or a cough, you are really worried and you approach to a doctor and seek the expert's advice. So that's the habit has changed. Something which you were consuming or you were consuming on your own, taking this is a health disorder which I can manage my own. Now people are more cautious. They are looking for a more often an expert advice. In UK, 50% of the adults are moving towards the health technology. They are using multiple applications, platforms on health, exercise, nutrition, meditation, which was not there earlier. 59% of the Chinese population has taken exercise as a highest priority, which is really missing from the lifestyle, is now become a priority for them to exercise daily, because everyone will now understand that health is not something a one-day affair. It has to be maintained for a longer period. As the pandemic struck, the more the healthiest you are, the most easy for you to keep bay all those viruses around away from you. So this is how it has, healthy habits has been impacted across the globe. And this has led to undefining of the health. If you all remember, there is a WHO definition of health. Health, which state as, I think, equilibrium of a physical, mental, and social well-being and absence of a disease is something which WHO defines as a health definition. But it has been undefined. Now health is something, how you prevent yourself from having a disease, how you don't get prone to having any sort of a disorder is basically a health now. Consumers are searching for a well-being experience now. They are looking into a very different lens. They are looking at integrating their life with their new lifestyle of a healthy lifestyle. So that's a drastic change which is happening in the consumer's life. People who never used to have any sort of a supplements, whether it's for your immunity or for any of your multivitamins, now people have shifted to it. People are looking at it a very different way. They are taking that they are part of daily lifestyle. There is a drastic change in our outlook also. Sorry. So there is around a sense of uncertainty all around last year. Okay. And there was really imbalanced routines everyone's living in. Your lifestyle was changed drastically. You were not able to understand when to work, when to be inside, how to move out, at what time to go out to buy the essentials. So all those schedules were mismanaged, and there was really a drastic change. And this was driving a different discomfort in the consumer's life. For that discomfort, there came up a lot of insight work was happened, and for that really deliver methods products were delivered to them in a very innovative way. A lot of e-commerce platforms came up. They started delivering as per your need, as per your convenience, as per your time. And there was, again, some insight which was hidden there. So this all brought to an opportunity which doesn't exist earlier. Now it's simply selling a well-being product is never a solution. It's basically how you are going to sell a service or a product to a consumer, and keep them reminding that this is something very, very essential for you, because this is a new lifestyle adaptation which is happening at the consumer end. So this is very important for them to understand. Yes, this will be there with you for a longer period of time. And this product you're going to use is not only going to give you a well-being today, it's going for a very longer period. So with the mission of a nutraceutical, today, what I understand as a mission for a nutraceutical industry is to meet a nutrition demands of the various demographics of India, where there is a rising awareness towards nutraceuticals, dietary supplements, sports nutrition, and weight management products for health and wellness. So what will be the important factors that will play out in the future? In nutraceutical sector, rising consumer awareness is one of the really beneficial points with every one of us. There is an increased focus on health and wellness, and that is what will going to drive the industry in the future. Along with this, India has finally embraced that health and technology can be brought together. Now today, people or even the doctors are adopting technology, and even the organizations who are into health and wellness understand that technology will be the future, and they are starting amalgamating their products along with the technology. There are a number of health tech startups which are there, and they are garnering a big support from the investors. And this is something which is going to be a future in the next 5 years. So I'll be touching upon a few of the main factors which Indian food industry is going to deal in coming years. One is on the product front. Another is on the R&D and supply chain, regulation, technology, and deal making. So product strategy is basically how you're going to offer your consumer a product which is innovative in terms of consumption, taste, and in terms of how it's going to give them the benefit and how that benefit is communicated in a very simplest manner. Another will be the R&D, supply chain, and raw material management. India is an enriched country. We have a lot of biodiversity here. We have a lot of medicinal and herbal plants, and we really have a very good produce of fruits and vegetables also. And this gives us an advantage that we will be having ample amount of raw material, a quality raw material. And with the recently development of world-class R&D facilities for most of the organization, the country is leading an edge over any other country who is going to be into nutraceutical area. We are going to boom into nutraceutical area. Regulation is definitely a favorable one for us. And my colleague who is just lined up after me will be talking in detail about the regulation. So I'll not touch upon that. On technology front, I've already touched upon, there is a technology changes happening, and there is a vast change which we are going to witness in next coming years. But along with that, one thing which will happen with the help of technology is the personalization. And this is going to a big drift of the industry or overall. Personalization, something which I require today for my nutritious need, for my well-being, will be delivered by an organization which will be specifically crafted or created for me. This is going to happen, and that is where the technology will play a good amount of vital role. Then this will help meet the expectations of the consumer of personalization. Deal making is something where new startups will come up, and the bigger giants will try to enrich themselves or want to expand their product portfolio, and there will be a lot of acquisition which will going to happen. So I'll just touch upon the product strategy, and that's one area which we'll be talking about today, and what the product strategy should be and how this product strategy is changing. I talk about that the consumers really want to have a product which really tastes well, whether it's for preventive disorders, or it's for something on a day-to-day basis nutrition, but product has to taste good. And that is why the consumer will be able to consume it on a daily basis. That is really very important. Another is the format, in which format you are going to deliver the product. That is very important.
Mr. Malik?
Gone are those days you take up a raw material or you take up a powder, you put up in a water, you make up some sort of a drink out of it, then you take that drink and consume it. it's a tedious matter. Today, you have a ready to go drink formats, you have ready to eat formats, you have various other technologically enabled formats, which is going, you can just
Mr. Mani?
and you can take any point of the time at any point of the day.
Yeah.
So this are going to change the industry drastically. Second is how you're going to make these health claims associated with these categories. So today we are able to categorize nutrition basically, or classify nutrition on basis of formats, a tablet format, a capsule format, a drink format, or a ready to eat format. Or we can classify that based on the health benefits. But this condition-based nutrition where nutraceuticals play a huge role, the health benefit is something which is very, very important, because today when you're talking about personalization, I think that's the first step towards moving towards it. So if someone is at different stage of life and at life stage at that age, my nutrition requirement will be very different. At the age of 50, someone looking forward to something for their brain nutrition will be very different for someone who at age of 20 will be looking for their brain nutrition. So these health benefits coupled with the more of a demographic profile will classify what sort of a nutrition requirement you're going to have. And third will be the general health and well-being. So the more specific you go into micronutrients and more you go specific into a daily nutritious diet, this is one area which is going to boom and is booming and is going to boom from next, I think, more than a decade. It's really have a very clear trajectory of booming, because there's something which you need on day-to-day basis to keep yourself and your health at par, and you don't want to take any sort of any questions on that, and you want to live a very healthy lifestyle. So for future, the growth is basically going to be classified under these classification only. The products will come under this classification. But yes, one thing which is really important is the segmentation and micro segmentation, which will be part of our health benefits. More the niche you go into, that more easy for you to do it on a personalization basis, basically, or a lifestyle basis, or you are going to make it to a next level of a more of a personalization where you can go on one-to-one basis. So this is how this industry will move ahead, and that's where the nutraceutical industry growth will happen. So if we say how it's going to happen in the next 5 years, how it's going to translate in the next 5 years, today we are focusing on brand. We are talking about more of the health purpose, and we are redefining the well-being. After 2 years from now, the well-being will blend into our everyday. Everyone will be very much aware about the idea of wellness. They will be knowing about how to keep themselves healthy, and there the innovation and your communication plays a really important role, so that you can keep focusing, keep targeting those consumers and make that as a habit for their day-to-day basis. And then along that, there will be a parallel running technology which will take over after 5 years, and technology will create an opportunity for the consumer to take charge of their own health. They will be able to do a lot of monitoring on their own, and they will be able to identify what are their nutritious need. Who would have thought few years back that the ECG will be on your wrist? Today, Apple is providing those sort of watches where you can map your health parameters on day-to-day basis. So this is how technology will further evolve and will take us towards a new era of, I think, a nutraceutical where product has to marry a technology. So I think that's all from my side. And really, I appreciate everyone for patience listening. And I hope if there's any question, I will really happy to answer.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Gaurav, for sharing or introducing the entire entrepreneurship in in nutraceuticals, how it is important. Health being prime concern in today's scenario, I think definitely there are more opportunities in this sector, and you surely explain how clear visibility to your vision will take you to the successful entrepreneur. Okay.